Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's your girl Zareen Shah and I am back with another makeup tutorial. This is more of a get ready with me and today's look is super natural. This is my makeup when I have 10 minutes to get ready and to walk out of my Right now I have just applied the Calm Water Gel from DERMALOGICA. It basically helps to hydrate the skin and the gel formula is super lightweight but at the same time extremely hydrating. As you guys can see, I'm going to call these guys trespassers because this is private property and they're not supposed to be on here. Now that I'm done prepping my face, I'm going to start off with a little bit of eye makeup. It is less time consuming when you start with your eye makeup first, and then you can wipe off any residue that's fallen down and then you can start off with great foundation. So I'm just going to go ahead with a little bit of concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers. It is MAC Pro Palette Concealer in medium, and I'm going to go ahead with my usual shade. I believe this is an NW25, and as you guys can see, I have used this palette to death. I'm just going to add just a touch of concealer onto my eyelids. This is a pretty full coverage formula. I'm just going to add a little bit more concealer into my inner corner just to brighten up my eye area. And I'm going to go ahead with the LORAC Unzipped Eyeshadow Palette. I'm going to go ahead using Unreal Eyeshadow with my fingers. I actually love applying eyeshadow with my ring finger, especially when it's the base color. When I'm applying colors on my crease, I like to use a crease blending brush. But I just feel that when I'm using my fingers to apply my eyeshadow as a base, I actually have less eyeshadow fallout. Now, using a soft crease brush, I'm just gonna go with the eyeshadow in Unconditional. It is a soft matte movie brown, and I'm going to lightly dust it just on my crease. The easiest way to build eyeshadow on your crease is to actually have your eyes open. I call this the swishing motion. It's like wind wipers, so you just keep going back and forth, just like so. This is one of my favorite crease brushes from Real Techniques because unlike most crease brushes that are just extremely fluffy, this almost has a slight triangle shape to it. So this part actually helps to bring quite a lot of intensity towards the crease area. And yeah, pretty much done with the eyeshadow. When I'm in a rush and I really don't have time to apply eyeliner, what I like to do is tightline, and I'm using a Marc Jacobs black eye pencil, and I'm just gonna go just on my upper inner rim and focus it mostly on the edge. And you can bring it out a little bit if you want. Contacts. And yeah, this instantly gives you the feel like you're actually wearing eyeliner even if you're not. I'm just gonna go ahead with a little bit of makeup remover, and this is one of the reasons why I always start with my eyes first, because I really don't like things falling down or smudging, and you can't really fix this when you've got concealer and foundation on. It just makes cleaning up so much faster and easier. Now that I'm done with a little bit of tight lining, I'm gonna go ahead and curl my eyelashes. I never put on mascara without using an eyelash curler. When your lashes are lifted, it actually gives you the effect as if your eyes are bigger. I'm just gonna go ahead, and I like to do these in sections. So I start at the very root and then release, go back in, release, and curl the edges and just lift it a little bit higher. This gives a more 3D effect. And you can do this a few times. If you curl your lashes too close to the root, it almost looks like it's standing upright, which looks a bit weird, especially if you plan on putting on eyelashes. So it is this way. Look at that. That's an instant boost to your eyes. I'm done with my eyes now, and I've just applied an extremely natural pair of lashes from Red Cherry, and it is in DW. As you guys can see, these are super natural and they feel extremely lightweight. I'm going to go ahead with my foundation right now. You don't have to mix your foundations, but personally right now I need a little bit more coverage, and when I've used these together, they've acted as the most perfect flawless base. I'm actually a 260 in the Pro Filter foundation. You're supposed to shake your Fenty Beauty foundations beforehand. Just gonna spritz a little bit of this. I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit of my Tarte foundation with a foundation brush. Just gonna mix these two. I'm gonna apply it on the areas that I feel I need the most, like the sides of my nose. And right now, these horrible bumps. Now that I've applied my foundation, I'm going to use my Oval 7 ARTIS brush. This is one of my favorite brushes because it makes blending super easy. And it just takes a couple of seconds. Honestly, I love using a beauty blender, but it does take some time, you know, to pat everything down, and the oval brush does the exact same thing in half the time. Whenever I apply my foundation anyways, I don't like to overly buff. I like to pat my foundation in. That's why I use a beauty blender, but the ARTIS brush does the exact same thing. So this way you're actually pressing your foundation into your skin instead of just moving it all over. That literally took less than 60 seconds. I'm gonna go back with my Pro Palette Concealer, and I am using the shade in NW25 underneath my eye. The NW25 is a slightly pink toned concealer, and I prefer using something that's a bit more peachy or pink toned underneath my eye area, because this helps to reduce the blueness that's in this zone. You can instantly see a difference. I'm gonna put a little bit more peach to brighten up the area. And as you guys see, I like to press the product in. This way you're pushing the product into your skin, and it will not only help it last longer, but it'll also make sure that the product doesn't move. Because trust me, in Dubai, it gets so hot that your foundation and your blush goes everywhere. So this way, just by taking a few extra seconds, everything is gonna stay in place. When you're correcting your under eye area, just keep in mind about two main points. One is the inner corner of your eye, and the other is your outer. So generally, the inner part of your eye tends to be a little bit more bluer or greener. So you'll probably need to add in more concealer or cover this part a little bit more. And the same thing goes with the outer area of your eye. There usually tends to be a little bit of discoloration. Some people have a little bit of redness or more of a bluish tinge. So these are the two key areas that you need to keep in mind when you're working with your concealer. Just wanted to show you guys how the right concealer makes all the difference. I'm going to go ahead with a little bit of the Ben Nye translucent powder. This is a flat tipped brush that I found from Sonia Kashuk, and I love the way it's shaped because I can just push the powder in. Just going to make sure I dust off any excess powder, and I am just going to press the powder in. Because concealers tend to be quite creamy and of a thicker consistency, they do need to be set properly, but you honestly don't need to bake. Like, sometimes when you bake underneath your eye for a bit too long, it can actually make your under eye area look a little bit patchy and gray. I have pretty dry skin. I don't get very oily. I don't feel the need to powder my T-zone. If you are of an oilier skin tone, go ahead And the other reason why I don't want to powder everywhere is because I also love using liquid highlights. This is Peach Frizz from Anastasia. I'm actually going to show you guys how this looks on my skin. Look at that gleaming through. It is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the reasons I do not want to powder my face everywhere. I am going to use my fingers. Let's get a little bit of this right here. And with my foundation brush, I'm just going to apply it right above my cheekbone, a little bit on top of my nose. I mean, you could go ahead and put something above your upper lip, but this is a day look, so I want to minimize the areas where I highlight because I want to look natural. I want to look like this is me naturally glowing. This looks like skin. This is amazing. If you haven't got your hands on it, you should. Look at that highlight, guys. So beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead with another favorite product of mine right now. This is a KIKO Velvet Touch Blush in 07. And I'm gonna go back with my ARTIS brush and just blend this out. I have been feeling blush lately. I think blush is making a comeback. I feel like people have been obsessing with browns a bit too much, and we need to get a little bit of color in, especially as we are in Dubai. At least we're going to be entering spring in like probably 2 days or so. This is the Sleek Contour and Blush palette. This is a pretty old palette. I don't think they even have this packaging anymore, but it is one of my favorites. So this is what it looks like. It has 3 shades. There is a shimmery peach shade, a highlighter in the middle, and then a more contoured brown shade right here at the end. Just gonna go ahead with a little bit of the contour. Just gonna press it right at the end. You guys can see it has instantly given me a facelift. Placement is everything when it comes to contour. So right there. Just gonna warm up my forehead just a little bit. You guys know how I feel about my 5-finger forehead. So just a little bit there. Sometimes what I like to do is add a little bit of peach onto my eyes. So I'm just gonna go with this shimmery peach. Just add a touch. Just give it a little fresh pop. You see that? Instantly it's like a little lift. I'm almost done with my makeup. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of lip liner, and this is actually a lip pencil from H&M. I actually love their makeup collection. I think for the price you get so much more. This is a peachy brown lip pencil in Raconteur. I hope I said that right. So I'm just gonna line my lips a little bit. I actually like to fill my lips all over instead of using a lipstick. I like to go ahead with a lip pencil instead. And always have to remember to work on the inner corners of your lips, because this is actually the area that tends to fade out the most. Have you guys tried H&M makeup before? Let me know, because I'm done with my lip liner. I'm gonna go ahead with a little bit of gloss, and this is the 3D Hydra Lip Gloss from KIKO. I got myself a bunch of products and absolutely love them. Look at this. If you're out and about during the day, gloss is so much of a fresher option as opposed to a matte liquid lipstick. And yeah, this is my everyday makeup look, something super natural, super quick. This pretty much takes me about 10 minutes when I am trying to get ready. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this natural, fuss-free makeup look. Hope you guys found this helpful, and if you did, don't forget to leave me a comment below because I love hearing from you guys. Alright, see you guys next week.